All right. I'm working on this, guys. Just give me a minute. I'm making sure the chat is working, which I always have trouble with. So you're going to have to bear with me. All right, let's see. What's up, Plymouth Rock? I'm just making sure the chat is functional here. Oh, there we go. It is working. What's going on? Did you enter the giveaway? I didn't see your name. Hang on. Right. Manage. Here we go. I'm gonna wait for everybody to get in here. It's been a crazy, crazy morning, to say the least. Let's see. It's always crazy. All right. Content. I got the last 2 podcasts that we did. I'm going to upload one today and release it later today, and then one tomorrow as well, because we did 2. Yeah, we did 2. You did not? Want me to add your name to the list? Are you local? Are you're well, it really doesn't matter if you're local or not. I could ship it anywhere. I'll add your name to the list. Okay, I got you on the list. I'm just going to wait for a couple more people to hop in here before I do it. Yeah, so I have both podcast episodes. One, I mean, most people know who the 2 people are that came on. So the one I'm going to release today is with Elijah D'Souza, who is actually, let me pull something up for you. Hold on. He's the creator of Citizens Against Eversource. And this group, I mean, this group is banging. It just keeps on getting up and up and up. Let me fix my... There we go. So he owns Citizens Against Eversource. This group went from like 100 members to 30,000 plus members in like the course of since everything has been going on with Eversource. You're in Plymouth? No worries, man. I'll add you to the list. It's not a problem. But anyway, the podcast today is going to be with Elijah that I release. And then tomorrow, either tomorrow or Sunday, I'm going to release the one with the state auditor, which is going to be quite revealing. Let me just put it to you that way. Yeah, it's some really, really eye-opening stuff. But I encourage everybody to join this group if you're concerned with your electricity, your energy bills, so on and so forth, because that's what we're going to be talking about in the podcast. And he was cooking. He was cooking the entire time. It was crazy. So I think you're really going to enjoy it. Bad Pixels Gaming. Thanks. Thank you. It would be funny if you gave away a lifelike doll of Bruce. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. I know. I know. What is that group again? I'll show you. If you go to it's on Facebook. It's called Citizens Against Eversource. And this is who we had on, Elijah. So it's a funny story, and you'll see a little bit of it during the podcast that we did. Some of it, I can't remember. This was back on Tuesday. I don't remember yesterday. But it was funny because what happened was I made the video on Eversource, okay? And simultaneously, there was this gentleman, Elijah, who was also starting to advocate for what was happening to the citizens here in Massachusetts. And of course, this is not only Massachusetts. This is a New England problem, right? Let's call it like it is. So I made the video. Simultaneously, he's working on this group and so on and so forth with this Citizens Against Eversource. And then the following week, Ben Simino covered what was happening with Eversource. And then the events that led up to where we're at, which is... Oh, sorry. Hang on, I got to silence this, or else I'll just keep... So yeah, it was like a chain reaction. It was crazy how it went down. It was unbelievable. Screw Eversource, bloody extortion racket company. Listen, guys... does this also include National Grid? I think they talk about National Grid in there as well. A lot of people are posting their bills, and obviously their usage and delivery is completely out of whack. Still waiting for the State House audit. Well, guess what? You're going to see what is going on with the audit come tomorrow, because I'm going to release Elijah's episode today because he was on first on Tuesday, and then the state auditor was on Wednesday. And what she has to say is going to... It's pretty eye-opening. That's all I got to tell you. Are all you guys that are in here, are all you signed up? I told everybody what to do. Is anybody else interested that did not comment done on the video? So I can add you to the list, because in about maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes or so, I am going to do the giveaway for this. Okay? But I think a lot of you that are in here, let me double check, are on said list. Yes. But I encourage you to join that group too. I'll probably post that video. I have an appointment at 1:30. As long as I have some... it's a longer video, right? So it may take YouTube a little bit of time to process that video. I don't know if it'll be released before 1:30. Forever Unlimited, you're on the list. Let me see. National Grid doubled the size of its building in Malden, and they doubled their prices at the beginning of COVID. Correct. I mean, it stems deeper than that, though, right? And Elijah is, I mean, he's really in the weeds with this stuff. He knows a substantial amount of what's going on with Eversource. Forever Unlimited, did you join the giveaway? I want to make sure, because I don't see your name on the list here. What's up, Irma? How are you? I gotta wait for a couple more people to come in here. You guys could ask me questions or whatever you want while I'm here, while we're waiting for everybody to fill up, and then I'll do the giveaway. Just remember, whoever wins, I'm going to message you my email address within that comment on Michelle's, the video I did, all right? And we have to email each other back and forth so I could ship it to the appropriate location. I don't know. I've been closing my business and packing. All right, that's okay, buddy. I'll add you. It's fine. That's not a problem. Almost $600 last month in utility bills, gas 180, electricity 440. Yeah, you know what the problem is with these, and again, I don't want to spoil anything that Elijah and I talked about, but a lot of these, I mean, this is, I feel like pretty common knowledge is a lot of these companies, these organizations, utility providers, whatever it may be, a lot of these politicians, and I'm not saying that this happened exactly with Eversource, okay? But a lot of times these politicians, they're beholden to a lot of these companies, right? Because they donate to their campaigns, so on and so forth. And then they, you know, it's an unfortunate, like the way politics is just really crazy because, you know, somebody gives you a big donation, and I'm not accusing anybody of doing anything here, right? But this is common knowledge. Like, you're getting these huge donations from these advocacy groups or whatever it is, and then all of a sudden, you know, these politicians are have to comply or honor these companies, right? And then they start passing these crazy policies onto the people, and that's who it affects the most. And that's honestly what happens. Oh, she. Okay, my bad. Keep kicking it. I'm as long as I'm here, I'm going to. I had a crazy thing happen this morning, though. I really did. I was on my email, and there was some funky stuff going on with my email. I wasn't getting emails. I was on the Zoom call with somebody, and I noticed some like security type things happening on the back end of my Gmail. So I'm in the process of like transitioning a couple things over to another service. So it's been pretty crazy morning. I was kind of panicking. But anyway, 2 minutes, we'll do the giveaway. All right. Is anybody that did not, let's say, comment on the video that I did with Michelle, is anybody in here that wants to join this is the last call, okay? Does anybody else want to join the giveaway? Because it's happening right now. I'm adding your names to the list, and we're going to do a spin the wheel. I'm going to bring it up actually right now. You got about 60 seconds. And then we'll talk a little bit if you want. You'll join? Okay. That's fine. You missed the giveaway? It's for this. You missed the video? That's okay. I might do it differently next time because it's, unless you're like catching me live or previously watched the live video, it's going to be very hard for people to know what to do. So I might do it differently next time, but there's like a lot of rules and regulations when it comes to these giveaways on YouTube, believe it or not. Okay, give me a second, guys. Maybe next time we'll just do it like this, and I'll do it live. I'll wait for everybody. Well, that would be really hard, though, if I have to add a million names. Yes, you guys got to give me a second. All right, just give me a second here, guys. We might do it differently next time, but that was the most effective way that I could do it. If I miss anybody, guess what? I apologize, but I'm doing my best. All right. Let's see. Mary, the giveaway is for styling hair product. And I'll do more of these if you guys like doing this type of stuff. And again, if I miss somebody, don't point the finger at me because this is not easy to do, okay? But I think because I'm also cross-referencing to make sure that you did not previously get added. All right, let's see. I got you, I get you, I get you. Got you. Matt, I got you. All right, I think everybody's in here. I'm calling it at that, okay? Because more people could come in and keep on joining. I could be doing this all day long. We're calling it at this. So if you missed the first giveaway, you guys could let me know how, even right after this one, let me know how you want me to handle the next one. And I'll do it that way. But you just got to be patient because I am completely new to these giveaways, okay? So bear with me a second here. What's the UN 2030 land? Oh. All right, just don't spam the chat. All right. Let's do it. I think I have everybody in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of spin the wheel here. And whoever it lands on, I am going to send you actually what you could do is email me after this if you're within here and you're the winner, unless it's somebody that's not in here that is the winner, because I could easily comment on your comment that you were originally supposed to do with my email address, and then we could connect. So here we go. Let's see what happens. Oh boy. Oh, there we go. There we go. I don't know if Sean, are you in here? I don't think Sean is in here. Let me see. I don't think he is. I could be wrong. Let's see. Sorry about that. I'm like looking through my statistics here. I'll have to get in touch with Sean. So what I could do is there's a lot of people, different, companies and so on and so forth that have reached out to me, and they would be willing to do more giveaways and so on and so forth. LT, my email is in my, it's also, here, I'll just type it to you. It's easy. It's mike@themikeurbanshow.com. It's pretty simple. You could send me any information about the UN 2030 thing. I may already know about it, and I just haven't covered a video on it if it's something that people talked about once before. But, yeah, anyway, like I was saying, the giveaways, I can't do it every week. But anytime somebody wants to, collaborate with me and do a giveaway or whatever, if I could support your business in any way, shape, or form, I will. It's not a problem at all. What is this UN 2030 thing? I'm going to look this up right now. Let's see. Department of Economic and Social Affairs, Transforming Our World to 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. I'll have to, there's a lot of stuff going on here, okay? I'm going to have to, yeah, this is like a massive book. I'm going to have to go through all this stuff. I'll have to go through it another day. I don't have time now. But I'll take a look at it. Anytime somebody wants to, you know, send me, somebody emailed me about 45 times this morning. I'm not even joking. From 9:01 till even right now, let me even check. Okay. I haven't gotten an email since 11:30, which I appreciate because it's a lot of stuff that I may not or may not potentially be on my radar, but it is stuff that once I scrub through it, I may want to cover, if that makes sense. But yeah, so the episode with Elijah, I'm going to have out later today. It's a big, who won? I'll show you who won. It was Josh, or no, Sean 8204.5. He's somebody that was a part of the, he commented on the video. So that's who won. I could do more of these too, by the way. So, you know, don't be bummed out if you lost. Or I could get more stuff, right? Instead of having one thing, we could do, you know, 5 giveaways, right? Of the same product. That way I could spin that wheel 5 times and we could have 5 different winners. This is we're working together on this, guys. This is a test run, okay? If this was fun for you guys, I'll do more. But you got to bear with me too, because I'm not, I'm new to the giveaway stuff, and there's rules involved with YouTube. Like, there's a whole bunch of crazy stuff. And I don't want to get blacklisted on YouTube. Then we're all in trouble. So that's, and that's that, you know? Oh, but anyway, yeah. So today I'll be with Elijah, and then tomorrow I'm going to release the episode with Diana, the state auditor. And I should be able to get that episode. They take a little while to upload because they're big files because of the amount of time, how long they are. But yeah, I think that you're really going to be inspired by both people, and I really think that you're especially with the audit and even the Eversource thing. You know, you're it's going to get you thinking. That's all I got to tell you. But again, if somebody owns a business or wants to do a giveaway with me, that's fine. You know, just email me. Agenda 2030. Yeah, I got to look that up. I have no idea what it entails. I really, I got to see what it's all about. I truly don't know. Yeah, the Diana interviews, she's awesome. We had a good time. Both people that we had on. I'm booked up, so my calendar for the studio is literally booked up for like the next 2 months. So we're at the point where I'm trying to squeeze people in that I feel like it would be important given a certain circumstances to come on. So it's been pretty crazy, but we have a lot of people coming on. We do. I think the video that I did yesterday with Ryan in regards to the immigration stuff, I think we'll eventually have him on as well. We're working on it. You know, we have a lot of different people coming on. That's why Michelle Wu and Democrat mayors are making horrible policies, open borders, equity per the globalist elite's plan, under the guise of the greater good. Yeah, well, you know, I think that I think we all know that we're in a position where we have no power, and people are making choices and they're doing things that I think are, I mean, I just feel like the public doesn't have much say. That's all I got to tell you. And of course, there's going to be a majority of the public that align with their agendas, but there's also a majority of the public that is not aligning with their agendas. And the fact is, a lot of this comes down to money. costing taxpayer money. And that money, any dollar in some way, manner, or form should go back to serving the taxpayer. Okay? But it's the exact opposite of that. Every dollar in, I feel like we get a tenth or less of that back in some way, manner, or form, whether it be through policy or bill or whatever it is. And Diana's going to talk a lot about this stuff too. There's just too much control in the legislation here, where you have a select group of people that are making decisions on behalf of everybody, including their colleagues. It's crazy. Yeah, no more gas stoves or gas water heaters. Oh, yeah. Yep. Drain the swamp. This is a tough one to drain, buddy. This is a tough one to drain. There's no doubt about it. A lot of people, are just... I had this conversation this morning on a Zoom, and I'll just give you a little bit of briefing. I do have a 1:30 appointment in Medford, but, I think what's happening here is a lot of people that are in the state of Massachusetts, right? And I have hinted on this before. If you have opposing ideas or whatever it is to what is, like, let's say, the status quo here, you really get looked down on, and it's not a good feeling it's really not good to have that feeling. So the fact is, people like us and, our let's say, morals and our standards, and I know a lot of you are more than likely a little bit more conservative and so on and so forth, you really are in a position, if you live here, where you're the minority, right? At least that's what it seems. But on the flip side, it also seems like a lot more people are waking up to what is happening. And I don't attribute that to, what we're trying to accomplish. I just think in general, the country as a whole is starting to wake up to a lot of the nonsense. And I think a lot of it stems from when, kids are in school. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's got to start somewhere. So if it's not starting in the household, it's starting somewhere. And, there needs to be a break in that chain, because otherwise if there's no balance on a state level, and you have just a few people that are controlling every little thing that happens in this state, it's a problem. And the other problem is this. So I may have talked about this before too. A lot of even what I talk about, how I feel, whatever it is, I didn't care. And this is just me being honest. I really didn't. I said a lot of this in our Discord chat. I really didn't care about a lot of these things when I was younger, right? Because what happens on a state or a municipal or a town or a federal level, when you're young, you're in school or you're working or whatever you're doing, a lot of that doesn't necessarily apply to you. You're not thinking about those things, right? You're thinking about your job or your career or your school or your girlfriend or, somebody that you may be trying to make your wife or husband, whatever it is, right? And what happens on a state level, a local, more local level, and a federal level, you don't necessarily care about, in my opinion. And I know there is a lot of younger people that may even be in here that do care about these things, but at least what I'm just telling you what happened with me. I'm not going to tell you the whole story. We'll save that for maybe another video or something like that. But the fact is like, the more you have to lose, and you see things or you see policies or you see bills, and all of a sudden they're affecting your career. They're affecting your family. They're affecting your children. They're affecting your livelihood. That's when people start to wake up, right? That's essentially when people start to wake up. And as soon as it starts affecting you on a personal level, that's normally when people want to get involved, right? And that's how it happened with me, right? Once I saw things happening in the industry I work in, and just what happens in the schools, and again, it really, once you, I've said this before, I'll say it again. It's easier to put the blinders on and not want to be accustomed to these things. And sometimes, you know, I think back of, I mean, I never really had the blinders on, but I didn't let it kind of consume how I think and what I do and you know, whatever it may be. But this is where we're at, you know? Yeah, we had an Uplift giveaway. What's up, Greg? What's going on in Rhode Island? People keep on asking me to cover Rhode Island. The thing is, I will tell you this. I think a lot of these New England states, I really think a lot of these states in New England, beside New Hampshire, and by the way, when it comes to New Hampshire, I swear, and I could be wrong on this, I'm in New Hampshire all the time. I'm going to New Hampshire today, believe it or not. I'm taking my kids. My daughter gets out of school, actually at 12. My wife is picking up our daughter, and I'm taking them up to New Hampshire later in the day. We're going to go to like Marky's and go get seafood, and I might take them to the playground, weather dependent. But I feel like a lot of people in Massachusetts look down on New Hampshire. However, New Hampshire is one of the only states that is a little bit more red, a little bit more conservative. But then you look at like Rhode Island, Maine, Vermont, Connecticut. I feel like these states are like, I don't know even how to say this, but I feel like there's some level of a connection there, right? I really do. Like, I feel like somebody is pulling the strings. Now, I will tell you, in terms of like legislative process, and you guys know this, like Massachusetts ranks absolutely last in terms of like transparency, accountability, passing bills. Like, you know, they're absolutely terrible, where Connecticut is actually very good. But I really feel like if I start looking, where I'm heading with this is this. If I start looking at other states, not that I want to cover other states for you, but if there is a correlation between our state and let's say Rhode Island, or our state and let's say Maine or Vermont or Connecticut, whatever it may be, I think it may be important to talk about, because it makes me feel like these, you know, these groups, these advocacy groups like the ACLU and whatever it may be, they have a stronghold on a lot of these policymakers, these lawmakers. And I'm curious to see if there is some level of a connection between what happens in Massachusetts to what happens in other states in New England. Okay? Jake, I'm not running for office. I will literally, I can't. I'm already, you know, scared to park some places. Let me put it to you that way. If I ran for office, I think, you know, I will say nothing is out of the realm of possibility, but that's not in the realm right now. Okay? Hang on 1 minute. That's what's so frustrating. We red folks have no power. Hope for some power to you, Mike. We need a mouthpiece. Yeah. Massachusetts used to be the shit with a $10 million rainy day. The rainy day fund is there. I thought there was like $5 billion in that. I really did. I thought there was more money in that. Yeah, I like New Hampshire too. We go up all the time. Like I said, I'm taking my kids there today. Weather pending. Yeah, Marky's is awesome. I don't drink, but my kids love, they love the seafood from there. Pulled my kids out of school. Yeah. I know a lot of people that, I know a lot of people that actually ended up pulling their kids out of school. Yep. What's up, Laced Edges? Bernie Sanders bought and paid for. He said something recently. Hang on. Didn't Bernie say something recently that was... And everybody's hating Bernie now? Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. I feel like he said something recently. Hold on, I'll pull it up. He's... Oh, he said nobody thinks... He said, look, nobody thinks illegal immigration is appropriate. That's what he said. I found the clip. And the people on the left are losing their minds over this. They're losing their minds. That is what's happening. That's something that I have to look up. The cannabis tax, like where the what's it called? Gambling and stuff. Where is all that money going? I have no clue. New England is a mirror image of California. Yep. Agreed. Yeah, I have a Twitter. It's my handle's Agent Urban, AGENT URBAN. Yeah, I had Diane on, Laura. That'll be out tomorrow. I just got both episodes today at the same exact time, but I want to release them in the succession that they were recorded to honor the guests. The other one was Elijah D'Souza, who has Citizens Against Eversource. He's a big advocate for our energy. The education here is not here. I don't mean here in New England. I just mean in the country. It just statistically is terrible. I don't know why that is. It's really bad. I feel like having no border is more of a hardcore libertarian view. I think it's just an ideology that doesn't work in practice. Yeah, I mean, here's the problem. A lot of the policies, in terms of these sanctuary city policies, and Mara Healy keeps on claiming we're not a sanctuary state, whatever it is. But guess what? If you go to... Hold on. I'm going to play a video. I forgot about this. Hold on. Where is it? Hang on. Here, I'll play this for you guys.
Massachusetts is home to 8 sanctuary cities, and Boston is the biggest.
But lately, as the White House just hammers sanctuary policies, Governor Healy has really made it a point to say that Massachusetts is not a sanctuary state. In tonight's Question Everything, how does the governor define a sanctuary state, and why do some disagree?
The governor said it in December.
Massachusetts, we are not a sanctuary state.
Yes, she is.
In January.
We're not a sanctuary state.
Last week.
We're not a sanctuary state.
And then again yesterday.
Massachusetts is not a sanctuary state.
If we are not a sanctuary state, what is? Well, we asked the governor what her definition is.
I'd leave that for others who call themselves that to define, but Massachusetts isn't, and as I say, we continue to work regularly, local, state, and federal law enforcement when it comes to public safety.
If you grab a dictionary, if you still have one, you won't find a specific definition of what makes something a sanctuary state. In fact, if you go through all the law books here at the State House, you won't find anything that declares we are or are not a sanctuary state. Instead, there are usually a couple of laws or policies that will earn you that distinction.
It's rare, but some governors openly declare sanctuary status, like California Governor Gavin Newsom did in 2018 in this tweet. Governor Healy had a tweet in 2017 declaring support for sanctuary cities. She was not governor at the time. So it's usually about policy. For instance, Oregon has called itself a sanctuary state since 1987. One of its many sanctuary policies is to limit cooperation with ICE detainers.
Yes.
What does that have to do with us? Well,
Agreed.
Massachusetts also limits cooperation with ICE detainers. In 2017, our state's highest court ruled.
This is, you guys should look this up, by the way. This is what Ryan Fatman was talking about yesterday, the Lund versus the Commonwealth Supreme Judicial Court in 2017. This is really important.
That court officers have no authority to arrest and hold an individual solely on the basis of a federal immigration detainer. Just last week, our Louisa Moeller interviewed the Worcester County Sheriff.
Here we go.
Who talked about having to let alleged criminals walk as soon as they make bail.
It's very frustrating for me to know I might have a drug trafficker or a violent offender getting bailed out of here. I call ICE and they're like, well, we're busy with a couple situations. We can't get there for a few hours. I can't hold them right now.
Republican State Senator Peter Durant has been a critic of Healey's immigration policies.
As of this year.
I asked Durant if he considers us to be a sanctuary state. His reply, quote, "If it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, and quacks like a duck, then it just may be a duck."
That's funny.
Massachusetts certainly looks and acts like a sanctuary state.
She is running away from this issue and in denial about it.
Jessica Vaughn is the policy director for the Center of Immigration Studies. That group lists 13 sanctuary states, which we...
Center of Immigration Studies. There we are right there, as on a state level.
Highlighted here. Massachusetts is on that list, mainly for the ICE detainer policy.
There it is.
It's worth pointing out, while Vaughn says her group is nonpartisan, she has testified to Congress
to restore immigration enforcement
about her concerns about sanctuary policies.
She's using some very limited examples of cooperation to try to cover up what is institutionalized non-cooperation.
And we should point out, of course, as we debate whether we are a sanctuary state or not, there's the other debate, often a heated debate, over whether that would be a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, it's interesting, too. There may be no definition, but by policy, a lot of states, a lot of people would consider this a sanctuary state.
And in the current environment, it feels like it's...
Yeah, so that's essentially what's going on there. But anyway, guys, I'm going to have to rock and roll. I'm going to read a couple more of your comments here. But how can we help DeZiglio with the audit? Don't worry, that we talk about that in the podcast, okay? Like we're doing what we need to do. Let me read your comments and then I got to get ready for that appointment. Bernie turned on the immigration club. You know what it is though? It's all for show, right? Like maybe he's going to be running for president or something again. And he's trying to capture a certain group of people. Who knows, right? Mara says we're not a sanctuary state, but we have so many populated cities that claim sanctuary status. Correct. That's the problem. And again, you guys know I have no problem with immigration. I have a problem with illegal immigration because of, look, I'm in real estate, right? I see what happens in terms of real estate. I see what happens in terms of education. I have friends that are in healthcare, work at hospitals, right? I've said it a million times. It's the bottleneck. Everybody should have the opportunity to come here, but they should have to do what is necessary to come here legally, okay? And a lot of my friends are immigrants, and they are just as, if not more, upset. Period. All right, let me read some more comments here. Bring back critical thinking. Yes. ICE is right in Burlington, I think. Cheers? Yeah, I grew up with Cheers. I'm 40. I didn't grow up with it, but schools also can't separate on grades, so disruptive kids are in the same spots as motivated kids. Yeah, that's I know that. Healey definitely acts like a dictator, Joy. Healey's afraid of losing federal funding. Agreed. Are they getting rid of Section 8? No, are they getting rid of Section 8? What is happening with Section 8? Maybe I'll do a video on that. You know, I'm going to do a video on, I wanted to tell you guys, maybe, I don't know if it'll be my next video, I don't know what video it's going to be, but the commercial real estate here, commercial real estate in Boston it was in trouble, but it seems like it's in even worse trouble, okay? There was just a place that was sold back in, I think it was 2017 or 2015 for like $46 million, and it just closed for like less than a quarter of that, basically. It's insane. And I don't think it's all due to remote work, by the way. because the SBA also left Boston. That's somebody who I'm going to try to get on. Somebody from the SBA. Oh, something to do with federal funding. Well, people are probably abusing the system. Like, it's okay. Like, I'm fine with government programs and so on and so forth. Of course I am. But what I'm not fine with is loopholes or, like, you know, these people that are trying to cheat the system. And it happens all the time. They have to build the bridges in the Cape. Yeah, Sagamore. Yeah, I know that. I've had a lot of people wanting me to do a video on that because some of the houses are being taken from eminent domain. And it happens, but I guess I don't know. I mean, obviously I could know. I guess I'm assuming the cost analysis to repair the bridge might exceed the cost analysis to replace the bridge. But in replacing the bridge, they also have to buy out property owners. Now, a good story there would be whether or not they're paying fair market value or above fair market value for those properties in order to take them through eminent domain. But, you know, those people still get screwed, right? And here's why. And this is maybe something that I would talk about in that video. So even if you get a property, a single family home taken by eminent domain, somebody is paying fair market value for your property. That's fine. But when you really boil it down, there's not enough. But regardless of what you guys think, okay, there is a housing crisis for single family homes. Okay, it's very, very difficult to find single family homes. The closer you get to the city, the North Shore, some of the South Shore, there's a lot of towns that people are just scooping up single family homes, right? The inventory is low. So while on one hand, it's good that they're, well, not good, but if they sell their property for fair market value, above fair market value, the problem is they now have to go buy another single family home. Okay, that's the problem. It puts them in a position where these people could be homeless, right? Like they could literally be homeless to try, like, you know, they won't be able to either afford, they'll get outbid, or something will happen on the house that they're buying. They have to build, oh, okay, where else am I at? Yeah, I'm going to try to get somebody from the SBA on. That's my plan. Is there a cap, Jack? You said that's what it's supposed to be, same as welfare. Problem on Section 8, 2 years. Is there a cap on that? Like where you're only supposed to be on it for a certain amount of time that they're not honoring? There's got to be a reason, right? Nobody just does anything without an actual reason. They won't build reasonably priced houses in new developments. They are all over $1 million. Well, they can't build reasonably priced houses. They can't. The cost to build here is too high. It is what it is. If you're buying the land, you're paying a premium for the land. If you're you go for permitting and you have to go through permitting and all this red tape to get it from point A to point B, and now you have all of this green stuff that they're making you do. The cost to build is going to be substantially higher. Let's see. All right, anybody else that want to talk about anything? Otherwise, I'm going to hop off, unless you have any questions. Yeah, it's not just, it's a community. That's true. It's a community that's being scattered. And it's unfortunate, but I don't know if there's an answer to, you know, I'm not sure what they could do. I would have to really dig into that. I would really have to dig into that. But I could tell you this much, look at it this way. If there's, how many houses are they taking through eminent domain? Is it 5? Is it 10? Is it 20? Because guess what? If you have 20, look at it this way. Imagine you have 20 people that are being uprooted out of their homes due to eminent domain, and now those same 20 groups of people have to go out and buy another home, and they want to maintain being in the same community, maybe because their kids go to school there, or they have family members there, or in-laws or whatever. Now you have 20 more people that are entering into a market that may not have enough inventory. Again, only speculating here. I would have to do the back end data. I would have to look at the back end data and the turnover rate and stuff like that. But it's going to be scary for those people. What should happen is that they should have the opportunity. This is the way to do it right, okay? And this is what should be proposed if they cannot maintain their homes and they are 100% being taken through eminent domain. What should happen is the government should pay them the money for their house, and then they should be able to lease back their house at no cost, okay? This is what I would propose. This is it. I'll tell you right now. The government gives them fair market value for their house. They also allow them to lease back that house for a certain amount of time. Within that amount, because if you don't put a cap on that, they'll stay there forever. So they cap the amount of time that they could stay in said property that was previously their home. They have money in the bank, and now they have an opportunity to go out there and look freely for a replacement property. Meanwhile, they're staying in the home that they own before it gets taken through eminent domain, number one. Number two, they have money in the bank to buy a new home, and they don't have to rush because they're not like being uprooted and staying in a hotel or Airbnbs. And number three, they will have more of a timeline to find a new home. That's what they should do. That would be the fair thing to do. Pay them the money now, and then once they find something, so be it, they have to move out. Whatever happens first, they either find something, or if they give them 3 months or 6 months to find a replacement place and they don't, well, then they're SOL. But I think 6 months should be ample of enough time if you have the money in the bank. Something like that, right? That's just off the top of my head, but that's what I think the fair thing to do would be. I don't know what you think. Contingency agreements. They should make the state find a comparable place. Honestly, that's not a bad idea either, but the problem is trying to find another comparable place, right? Especially if inventory is low. A lot of those people have been there for so long, they probably paid off most of their mortgages. That's true. But the thing is, if they've been there for that long and they're no longer working, they're no longer going to have the borrowing power, right? So even if they, like, look at it this way, even if you try to get a home equity line or something like that, like if you don't have some source of income that you can't repay it, you're not going to get as much money. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys, Ryan and let's see here, Calzone, if you don't stop spamming the chat, you're going to get banned. And I don't want to ban anybody. I normally don't ban people unless you start spamming. But it looks like there's a little bit of a campaign launching here. Let me see what else you said. I know someone who received... Okay. The people I know on Section 8 weren't old or disabled. Oh, guys, you're going to get banned if you keep spamming. I don't want to ban you. I don't mind you being here, but not if you're spamming the chat, guys. Yeah. Unless they stop. I'll give you like 5 seconds to stop. If you don't stop, I'm going to ban you. I don't mind if you come here and give... Okay. Let's see. Explain why. Let's see if they could provide... Normally what happens here, by the way, is people will come into somebody's chat, and as soon as they get confronted, they just peace right out. They'll just leave instantaneously. So one of two things is going to happen. They're either going to stay here, and they'll continue spamming, or they're going to leave. Because if they're confronted with any kind of, pragmatic reason or logical reason to claim what they're claiming, they normally don't. All right, let's see it. Yes, Eric. Watch them all peace out. All right, they're gone. There's one. Yeah, I did. I banned him. Notice they didn't respond. Who goes out of the way to do this? People that don't work and people that can't. See, here's what happens, right? They can't think beyond the first step, right? And they have a problem with critical thinking. And they only see what's in front of them. But what happens is a lot of these people are just stuck. And they usually can't contrive a really good counter argument to something that I said in a video. And if you haven't watched the Natick video, I suggest you watch it. It was something involving one of the teachers or a class that was not mandatory per se, and that's what it was about, and that's what they're upset about. Yeah, it is disruptive to the chat. No, I agree. No, I apologize, guys. But again, I don't like you have to understand something. I don't like banning people because when you ban people, you end up creating, like, I don't want to be stuck in an echo chamber. I think it's healthy to have debates and have somebody explain their position or whatever. But, you know, when you come in and you're just, you know, talking nonsense and you're spamming the chat, you're interrupting people, it's just not a healthy thing to do. You know, that's all that it is. That's why most people already left, or they just keep on saying the same exact thing. It's, you know, but I don't like, but in retrospect, I also don't like creating like a hive mind, or I want people to be able to, you know, if they want to debate something, that's fine. I'm scared. I'm banning people because I'm scared. No, I'm banning people because you guys are spamming the damn chat. It has nothing to do with being scared. The funny thing would be if these are a lot of the administrators from the school. All right. I don't know if they're children. Well, they could be kids from Natick, or they could very well be some of the administrators. I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. Yeah, I'm banning them. What'll happen is if I have a lot of people that do not offer some levels of, you know, a debate or some like critical thinking skills, and this happens a lot in the chat, I'm going to have to get a moderator for the chat, you know? Yeah, I might need a mod. Yeah. I didn't think it would come to that so quickly, but I mean, it is what it is. I wish there was a way. Is there a way I could pull them up in the chat and ask them a question? That would be awesome. It just comes with the territory, guys. It's fine. Look, if anybody wants to be a mod, let me know. I don't do lives that often, though, right? I really don't. Let me see. I don't know, to be honest with you. A way to rate limit people from posting. It may be possible, but I'm not entirely sure. Again, I don't live stream that often. I've been trying to do it every Friday, though, for you guys. But I really don't live stream that often. But it seems like a lot of the people just pieced out after, again, they get confronted and they're just, bang, they're gone instantly. That's all it takes. But I like I said, I honestly don't like banning people. I think that what happens is you run into a position where you don't have that, you know, that conflict, and that, like, usually when you have a little bit of debate or conflict, or you know, it becomes a healthy situation for people to voice their opinion and, you know, point out facts of X, Y, and Z. This is why this happened or whatever. But that's not the case here. It's just like blatant spamming. So, all right. Anybody else have any other questions? Because I have an appointment that I got to get ready for at 1:30. Yeah, they do. They do have bots in troll. It is what it is. Yeah. So that's it, though. I'm going to take off, guys. I appreciate it. I'm going to message the winner of the Uplift, and that's pretty much it. So I'll upload the video with Elijah from the Citizens Against Eversource later today. Have a good day, guys. My pleasure, guys. Have a good one.